guys, it's Dave Heine with the Kaizen Golf Academy. Welcome to another episode of Your Best Golf. Today we are going to be talking about ball position. If you don't understand ball position, you're probably struggling with maybe hitting the driver good and irons bad, irons good and woods bad. Today I'm going to help you eliminate all that. If you get your ball position right, I can guarantee you it's going to make the game easier and you're going to start to play your best golf. Okay, so let's get started. The important thing is that you get your ball position right. So with this wedge or your 8-iron to your sand wedge, the ball is going to be one ball right with your sand wedge or your gap wedge or your 60. So it's one ball right is center. The reason that is when you take it up, you want to make sure that as you come down that you're striking that in a downward blow to the ball. So then that way you're getting compression with those low irons through the ball. So as you see, I'm working down at the ball with that angle of attack. In this illustration that I have, you'll see that each of the lines with my shoulders and my hips and my knees and the club are all attacking down through and then around with the rotation of my swing. And you can tell that the green dot is well in front of the ball. So that's going to ensure that that strike is going in the proper direction and not underneath or too far forward and digging too much. The next club here is the 8-iron. So the 8-iron is going to be about right in the middle. I'm still going to be working down as I hit this because my chest is going to be a little bit left, but the ball is going to be in the middle. And as I swing down, I'm working in the same direction down into the ball. The divot will be just a little bit lighter, but not much lighter than that wedge or your sand wedge, and my chest is still in front. So this is the same illustration that you just saw, because both of those strikes from your 60 to your 8-iron are going to be in a downward angle and then working around your left leg and through the ball. So just ensure that when you get down to that 8 to that sand wedge, that your chest is in front and you're striking down and around and not up. Okay, so here's an example of that. Watch the downward strike. And here it is in slow-mo. And you can see how deep the divot is. Okay, so let's get going with the 6-iron here. So this is a very level strike. The ball is going to be about one ball left of your chest or left of center. And as you're coming down, you're going to be working very level through the ball. And the club will want to go down a slight fraction and take a little bit of turf, but it'll be a lot less than that 8 and sand wedge. So you can see that my shoulders, hips, and knees are working very level through the ball, and the club is just a fraction down. So just make sure the ball position's in the right spot and your chest will be in the right spot at impact, slightly at the ball or even behind it, so then that way you're not too deep, but you are going to make sure that it will be a little bit of a divot. Here's an example of that 6-iron. So the strike's more level, but there is a divot. Okay, so let's move on to the 4-iron. As we get longer, the ball's moving to the left, so then that way the actual contact will be a little behind the ball as far as just the center of where your center of mass is going to be at the bottom here. But as you're brushing through that, it's working a little more up and around. So you're going to kind of graze through the bottom with a very small divot. So as that club gets longer, you're going to start to lighten those divots up. And this is still a very level motion with your shoulders, hips, knees, and the club itself as it works around the ball once it goes through that strike. So just make sure that you're level and around with that strike, and you'll hit some nice clean shots like this 4-iron. So it's a small divot. The important thing is not to try to help it up, but just let the club do all the work. Okay, let's get to the 3-wood, club that we all love. The important thing is that the ball is going to be about 2 balls left to center, in some cases 3, depending on how tall you are. What you're going to want to do is just make sure that that ball position is far enough left to where you're not going to take any divot, and it's working on the up, a fraction. Divots are a tough thing to come by with that 3-wood, so try to avoid divots, and you don't want to top it, so you want to be very level. Like this 3-wood here, you won't see any divots. So that was a really clean strike. Here it is in slow-mo, and you'll see that my chest is working very level and around. I'm not trying to help it up. I'm allowing the ball position to strike the ball clean and work into my finish. Okay, so the driver is an important club because it's really the only one in your bag that you're really trying to get up and around on. So the ball is going to be about 4 balls, 3 balls left. I usually put it even further left if I'm going to tee it higher. So then that way that the strike is going to be on the upward if I'm trying to get the ball to go way up in the air and carry further. But you can see even on this strike I'm swinging on the upswing, and if the ball is in front, that's going to allow that strike to work up and around because my center is to the right of the ball, and so then the club is working up and around with shoulders, hips, knees, and club after the center of mass. So you can see the tee is really, in good tact. I haven't touched it at all, so that tells me that the strike was very clean and up, wasn't down in any way. And if you're doing that, you'll have plenty of tees in your bag. So here's what that photo will look like if you're using all those clubs the right way. So you got wedge on the far right, and then everything starts to work left and further away from you all the way to that driver. So then that way it'll give you a really indication, am I putting the balls where they need to be in relation to the club. Here's what it looks like without the clubs. So then that way you can get a gauge of what does that ball position look like before I put the club down. Get that right and things will be really simple for you. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed that episode of Your Best Golf. I think you all understand how to place the ball on the ground with your feet where the ball position should be to allow you to compress it or sweep it or swing up on it to hit each club in your bag the best you can. So get out there on the range, work on your ball position, and I guarantee you'll start to play your best golf. Thank you for joining. If you like the episode, please hit the like button. If you like Your Best Golf, please subscribe.